have pets? Great. How many of you know someone who has a pet? Okay, great, everybody. So what would be some questions if you were going to frame a problem related to pets? Anything you want. What might you come up with? A problem with pets, yeah. Cleaning up poop. Okay, that's a good problem to solve. What else?
I was going to ask you for cat litter.
Okay, so how do I pick the best cat litter? Okay, what else?
How to take care of them when you're away.
How to take care of them when you're away. That's a big problem. What else?
How do you decide which pet to keep?
Yeah, what kind of pet should I get? Anything else?
What kind of food?
How do you feed them? What's the best food for feeding them?
How do you train them?
How to train my pets?
Should I get a pet?
Should I have it? Am I the right person to have a pet?
That was my second.
Okay, good. Super, yeah. What's that? Grooming, taking care of grooming my pet. Okay, super. So I'm going to show you an example of a short video. All the submissions were videos. Short video about pets. But one of the teams submitted. And you will notice that they frame the problem at the beginning. They show 100 solutions. The reason I always require 100 solutions is because the first solutions are always going to be expected and incremental. Once you get past 30, 40, 50, you start getting to the really interesting problems, solutions, okay? So that's really important to push yourself past when you think you're done. And you'll see the prototype and take it from there. So let's see what you think about this idea. Pretty cool? Yeah, okay. So that was a great innovation that this team came up with. But how would we take it to the next level? Let's imagine we came up with this great idea. We focused, we reframed, we were really innovative. But now we want to bring this idea to life. Now we have to be entrepreneurial. Now, entrepreneurship requires two things. It requires persistence and inspiring others. Now, what is persistence? Persistence is grit. It's like pushing past the point when you think you're done, right? And in fact, it's really interesting and important to keep in mind that persistence and grit are tied to motivation. So if you're not motivated enough at the beginning, you're not going to be persistent enough when you get to this stage. In fact, as you noticed, as you go through this invention cycle, it gets harder and harder and harder as you go around, right? It's super easy to be imaginative. It's harder to be creative. It's harder still to be innovative. And now it's super hard to be entrepreneurial, where you now have to bring your idea to life. So you need this grit to do all the things to bring your venture of any sort to life, whether you're trying a rock band, a trip around the world, starting a new company. But one of the most important things you need to do, is to inspire other people to join your effort. Most of these projects do not happen on their own. You need to get other people to contribute, funding you, joining your team, buying your product. This is really critical. So what are ways that you inspire other people? How do you inspire other people?
Dancing.
Dancing, okay. How else?
Being passionate about
your idea. And how do you communicate your passion?
I think just through talking about it, getting excited, and people just watching how enthusiastic you are about your product or your idea.
Perfect. That's really great. And yeah? Encouraging them. Anything else? Yeah.
Having a vision.
Having a vision. Super. These all fit within having an amazing story to tell. When you are an entrepreneur, when you're actually doing anything, you are a storyteller. And you need to view yourself as someone who becomes a master storyteller to share your vision, your passion, your enthusiasm. Let me give you an example of how this works, okay? So one of my favorite approaches is the story spine. It will sound familiar to you, but I'm going to break it down, okay? Once upon a time, something happened. And every day, something happened. Until one day, something happened. And because of that, 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 something happened, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, until finally something else happened. And ever since then, something else. Okay? Make sense? So what you've done is you've set the stage. Here's the world the way it is now, right? Once upon a time and every day. And then you get to the middle and there's a pivot. You have introduced something. A scientific discovery, a new product, a concept. And because of that, all sorts of things happen, and now the world is a different place. Let's say you're getting your PhD and you're defending your thesis. This is the way to present it. If you've got a product that you're selling, this is the way to present it. Here is the problem the world faces. And every day people are suffering with all of these problems. But here is my solution. And if people adopt my solution, the world is going to look like a different place. Does that make sense? So I want to play you a video that shows how this happens in just sort of a simple, kind of fun way. In my classes, I give lots of provocative assignments, kind of like the fish, the one with pets. But this is one where I gave students all over the world a challenge. And the challenge was, it was part of a global innovation tournament. The challenge was create as much value as possible, value measured any way you want, starting with a handful of rubber bands. My goal was to stretch their imagination. Okay, so this is one of the team's submissions for that. It's a couple minutes long, but I think you'll enjoy it. I want you to notice the story spine in there. Here's the problem of the world. Here's our solution. Here's what happened afterwards.
Tired of bikes gobbling up your laces? Troublesome doorways. Loose laces caught in vicious vacuums. Constantly fighting your garbage disposal for your shoes. Being hounded at school by shoe bandits. You need shoe bands. With our revolutionary technology, you'll never worry about shoelaces getting untied again. Shoe bands will make you more stylish, lose 10 pounds instantly, and will save baby penguins from global warming. Everybody loves them. 50 years of R&D utilizing Six Sigma, lean production, and other buzzword processes went into the development of shoe bands. Procured from pencil erasers, our rubber is vulcanized twice to remove bad karma. Here's what our customers have to say.
As an athlete, I need my shoes to stay on. Velcro provides some security, but to really get the job done, I use my shoe bands.
Recently, one of our customers wrote in to tell us about an experience where her shoe bands saved her life.
Should've worn shoe bands.
Hello, I'm the founder of Shoe Bands Incorporated. But not only am I the CEO, I'm also an avid and dedicated customer.
Through this exclusive TV offer, receive not 2, but 3 packs of shoe bands for just 5 easy payments of $19.99. But wait, hold the next 60 seconds and we'll
Okay, who needs those shoe bands? Okay, great. So did you notice the story spine in there, right? They set up the problem. I mean, they could have just come on and said, here's a box of shoe bands, here's how you use them. But no, they set up the problem. They made you care. They drew you into the story, and then they came up with a solution and showed all of the ways that this is going to change your life. Okay, so that is one of the keys to being entrepreneurial, is being able to tell a great story. I'm sure you call it a pitch, right? But to give a pitch that really engages others and draws them in. So the wonderful thing about this invention cycle is that it goes around and around and around. And this is why entrepreneurship is such a powerful tool in our lives, in our community, in the world. This is why all of you came here to learn about this. Because once you are entrepreneurial, you inspire other people's imagination and their creativity and their innovation and their entrepreneurship, and others and others and others. And this becomes this incredible engine for new ideas that end up really solving major problems in the world. So the thing is, you need to start at the beginning. And you need to have a set of tools that you know how to get through this process. Once you master these tools, then what happens is they become a collection in your toolbox that you use all together, right? You don't always have to go around in the same cycle again and again and again. Once you know how to engage and envision and be motivated and experiment and focus and reframe and are persistent and can inspire others, you start using them all in concert. One thing to keep in mind, there are many people who go directly from creativity to entrepreneurship. And they skip that innovation stage, right? They open one more coffee shop or a cover band. And it's perfectly fine to do that, right? You can do a Me Too business. But it's a missed opportunity. It's a missed opportunity to really push beyond the expected results, to come up with something really, truly unique, and to bring that to the world, as opposed to something that is a Me Too product. Also, it's important to keep in mind that not every person needs to have every one of these skills in an organization. At the beginning, you do, right? At the beginning, you need all the people on their core team to have these skills. But as your organization grows, you just need to know that you have all the bases covered. You need those people who have the vision, the big visionaries who can engage and envision and see how the world might be different. You need the creative problem solvers who solve the everyday problems. You need the innovators who push through to come up with really breakthrough ideas, and you need the entrepreneurs who know how to scale it and bring it to the world. The fact is, once you have all these skills, this is a powerful tool set for getting ideas out of your head and into the world.